Hello, my name is Lauren and you're on my channel Lauren's Lines, and today I have another sketchbook tour for you. So this sketchbook took me from the 13th of January to the 20th of April, a little over 4 months. I was working on another sketchbook at the time. If you'd like to see my other sketchbook tour videos, there'll be a playlist down below, and if you'd like to see my newest ones, then you can subscribe. I'm putting them up roughly once a month at the moment. I do apologise for the messy desk, but this is where I actually do my work, so it does make sense to film this video here, and I kind of like it, all the paint splatters. So this first painting was on a flight from Atlanta to Honolulu. I had a week in Disney World with my mom. She was doing the Derby running challenge in Disney World, which is a 5k, a 10k, a half marathon, and a full marathon, all within the space of 4 days. I did the 5 and the 10k with her, but she's a machine and went on and did all the others. And then this was one of our flights. We were going back via Hawaii to meet my dad and my brother on our way back to Sydney. So hopefully these people didn't mind that I painted them. Yeah. As soon as we got to Hawaii, of course, the first thing I noticed was the different birds. So I've got a spotted dove just at the airport, and red-crested cardinal, which was really, that's an impressive looking bird, even if you've already seen one your whole life, but they're very impressive. The ocean. I remember sitting by the ocean and just having my morning cup of tea, and the waves are crashing nearby, and seeing these like beautiful palm trees in Honolulu, which is lovely. And then we drove up the coast, and we got to see I got really lucky to see a turtle having a snooze on the beach. They did have a ranger there, make sure no one was bothering him, so that was nice to see as well. And we did lots of snorkeling, so the Moorish idols. And I probably would have a lot more painting from this trip if I could have ripped myself out of the water, but I just loved seeing all the fish and creatures going about their days. Yeah, really love snorkeling in Hawaii. And Sunset Beach, which is beautiful. And a Sharma thrush, which we saw in the Botanic Gardens. It's like really sassy kind of body language to him. It was a really interesting bird to sit and watch. And then, so that was in January. We're jumping to April, and we're back in Sydney now. And these, what are they called? Black yellow-tailed cockatoos flew by. We don't see them around here very often, so it was quite special. They're really big, bold, kind of black birds. And wattlebird. You often see them around here a lot. Not so much lately, but I went on a bushwalk and we saw heaps of them, so that's nice. And we put out birdseed for the birds. So these are crimson rosellas having their breakfast, and they're always very nervous kind of eaters. Always one is on lookout while the other one's got its head down, and vice versa. But they're very cute. A leaf from the backyard. And some more leaves. These are Australian eucalyptus leaves. Quarantining, being stuck at home was really starting to kick in, and I was going nuts, having nothing to paint from life. So I just went out to the backyard and found these, which was fun. There's a crested pigeon. This is a new addition to our garden, and a bird feeder, and I think they're really cute. They make a little squeaky toy noise whenever they fly away, which is really funny. These are notes from Mary Sant did a how to draw faces video, which I thought was really interesting, just how she approaches them, so keeping that in mind. And then here I think I was using the same reference as her, and I was trying to just kind of put what she said into practice, so that was quite interesting. I really liked these. I like how some of these ones turned out, actually. Quite pleased. This is not a great painting, but I think it's quite funny. So obviously we're in lockdown, so all the pools are closed, but I'm at my parents' house at the moment and they have a pool. So my mum and her friend tie themselves to the fence with these yellow bungee cords, and they swim on the spot, and then they look like they're about to run into each other just constantly. Like it's just minutes away from collision the whole time. The first time using gouache in a while, I wasn't super happy with this painting, but it is a little eagle, which you get around here every now and again. That's actually, very confusingly, the name of this species is called a little eagle, which confuses people a lot. And then these ones were clouds from another Mary Sant video on how to paint clouds, which I found really interesting. So these, just because it's a completely different approach to painting clouds than how I usually do it, so that was cool. Anyway, yeah, nice to get a good insight. This one was funny, and I was quite pleased with it. I had this very strange dream that I was back in Tanzania with the Nature Journal Club. If you'd like to see that sketchbook, I'll link it. And I had this dream that we saw this bird, and I'd asked what it was, and they said it was a costume bird, and I asked why, and we saw it just like this, and then it flicked these like little tail or little veil of feathers, and they came around its front like a seer, and I just thought it was really funny, and they called it a costume bird. But yeah, I was quite pleased with this, that I managed to come up with a realistic, like almost realistic looking bird just from imagination without a reference, because obviously this bird doesn't exist. And then with that confidence, I painted this guy, again just from imagination with no reference, which is new to me, but I was surprised and really pleased that it worked. Well, I think it worked. I like it. I think he looks cool. I really wanted to play around with the blending of like green, blue, purple on his body, and then with the contrasting like orange and yellow beak. I think he's probably my favorite thing in this book. So that one. And me and my partner, who is over in Edinburgh at the moment, I'm stuck here in Sydney, so we're doing lots of video calling dates. We watched The Mandalorian together on Disney Plus and absolutely loved it. I really, really like it. I was very impressed, so I did a bit of fan art. This was notes from a John Murrell Laws video on drawing feet, just kind of recapping because I kind of get a bit lazy when I draw feet, bird feet. My little brother has been, for his quarantine, he's been getting into the gardening side of things, and so this is his little baby Arab's Eye Lily, I think it's called. Yeah, Arab's Eye Lily. And then at the time, this was about true to size, that's how big it was, but it's absolutely huge now. It wouldn't fit on the page if I was to do it true to size. And if you saw my last sketchbook tour, you would have seen that I suddenly in love with reindeer, so here's some more reindeer. Yeah, I really liked how these ones worked out. Getting back into using gouache after not using it for a really long time was quite fun, and I like how this one turned out. Also like these guys, I just think they're really cute. They've just got such good faces, reindeer. I just love them. They're beautiful. And then it takes us to the very last one, and I thought for the last page I might try and kind of do a throwback to when we started. So this was our very last night in Hawaii on our family holiday, and we were sitting in a restaurant having dinner, watching the sunset, and it was just beautiful. It was so lovely, and just as I think we were waiting to see a green flash when the sun sets. Somebody told us that that's a thing that happens, but I've never seen it. So we're waiting to see, like, for when it really gets to the very bottom, there should be a green flash. But just as it did, this cruise ship crossed right over in front of it. And I've never heard a whole beach full of people just groan all in unison. It's just really funny. And so I have that as a very fond memory. I think that was a great way to see it. Yeah. So that brings me to the end. If you had any questions or comments, please leave them below. Like and subscribe, it really means the world to me. So thank you very much. Goodbye.